Hello, this is Jim Duffy, Refining Fire Chiles. Welcome to our video series called Peppers 101. In this series, we're starting here in 2023. Right now it's still August 2023, but we're almost in September. We hope to have over 120 videos, maybe 140. So we urge you to subscribe and hit the bell notification button so when a new chili comes up, you'll be able to see about it. This is strictly educational. You will not be seeing us eat super hot chilies and suffer through the pain. We have other people that have done this for us in the past and also in the present. Like Uncle Bull Cow on YouTube has been reviewing some of our chilies recently. And then we have a lot of videos on a channel called Heat 101 where they ate some. We have a lot of people that have eaten the chilies before, especially the hot ones. So we're not going to do that. What we're going to do is try to give you some knowledge and background on all these chilies in the hopes that you will be inspired and encouraged to grow them, okay? And we do hope, and we say this message in most of our videos, get your children out in the garden and get your children into the kitchen. There's no excuse. Let them partake of the experience of growing something from seed and then harvesting it when the plant grows. Let them watch the plant grow. They'll be amazed as a young child. It's something they'll never forget. And then let them help you in the kitchen preparing the food. And then you know what, if you've got time and you've got enough food prepared with these chilies or with other vegetables, go out and feed somebody in need, somebody elderly, somebody disabled in your neighborhood, somebody at your church that's struggling financially, you know, maybe even somebody homeless if you feel led to do that. But share the chili love, not just with your friends and family and your neighbors and your coworkers, but with those in need. Make a delicious meal with them. Just don't make it too super hot because, you know what, I don't want you hurting anybody. With that being said, the chili we are looking at right now is an old school super hot chili. One of the original super hot chilies. One of the OGs, original gangster super hot chilies. What are we looking at here? We're looking at the Trinidad Scorpion, otherwise known as the Trinidad Scorpion Butch T. Butch T stands for Butch Taylor. Butch Taylor is a renowned grower that's been growing for years. He's retired now from his plumbing job, but he also had a huge field when he lived in Louisiana. He's still growing some peppers now in Mississippi. The reason why they named it the Trinidad Scorpion Butch T is when he got Trinidad Scorpion seeds years and years ago from somebody in New Jersey through some chili forums. There were some chili forums long before Facebook existed, and he was part of them, connecting with people all over from the world. They originally got theirs from a nursery, I believe, in Maryland, and that nursery in Maryland, they actually went to Trinidad and got it. So why is it called the Trinidad, not just the Trinidad Scorpion and the Trinidad Butch T? Well, what Butch did is he did selection. Selection is a form of breeding. It's not breeding like crossbreeding. It's selection, where you take a large selection of plants and peppers and you select the ideal type that you want based on characteristics. That might be color, shape, size, a number of things. Heat with flavor. And he did that. And so he shared seeds kind of like Johnny Appleseed all over the world. And you know what? The majority of the time, he didn't even trade or get anything in return, money in return. The majority of the time, he just shared seeds. And so on his packets, they would say, Butch T. So in 2011, Neil Smith, a good friend of mine in Australia, and if you're in Australia, I urge you to buy your chili seeds from him. It's called the Hippie Seed Company. Neil Smith and one of his friends who had a sauce company grew these out with other hot varieties like ghost pepper and had them tested in labs. They got some pretty high numbers. They submitted to Guinness, and in 2010, 2011, they got the Guinness World Book record. Now, I recognize as them getting the Guinness World Book of Records. Some people I don't recognize. And the reason why I don't recognize them, well, they didn't do extensive testing to prove their results. They kind of did testing at one place. I'm not going to mention names. And then Guinness gave them the record, where Neil actually worked with a real horticulturist and a commercial sauce maker, and together they tested a bunch of varieties, not just one, but all growing under the same conditions. And the Butch T Scorpion came out with the higher numbers and got the record. It was short-lived, though, because we know in 2013, the Reaper got the next Guinness record. And in between that time period, the Moruga Scorpion got the scientific record, not Guinness, but the scientific record. And records really don't mean anything, because you know why? Do you know why? They just give you a baseline. because on any given day, any red or brown super hot pepper can beat another. They can. But we owe a debt of gratitude to Neil Smith for bringing more attention to this pepper, and Butch Taylor for sharing graciously this variety and many other varieties with people all over the world. Otherwise, we might not have known about them. So this is the Trinidad Scorpion Butch T, or Trinidad Scorpion. Now, what I want to show you is on Super Hot, you're going to get variants, okay? So everybody's going to be looking for the pepper that's got a little tail on it and kind of has a slight bonnet shape, okay? That's what everybody's going to be looking at. Now, I also want to tell you, like, most of my pepper videos are going to show peppers on the plant, but I do grow in other locations, and I have certified growers growing for me in isolation under nets like this. And if they send me a bunch of peppers, I'm going to do a video on them. I'm not going to wait till I grow them, because I might not grow them in the next year or two on the plants here in Georgia. So right now, we can still talk about the pepper and show you the pepper. But with Super Hots, I want to show you the variations. So you have that, but you're going to get peppers like this on the plant. And that means you still have a Trinidad Scorpion. Slightly elongated pods, maybe coming to a little bit of a point. A little bit wrinkled and lumpy, but mostly smooth and shiny. Not as... See, this one here even has a little bit of variation of a smoother skin. And these are all from the same plants. So that's why I want to show you the variations, especially in Super Hot, especially in the Capsicum chinense species, which is your habanero. Because your Capsicum chinense varieties are younger. In other words, they haven't been around thousands of years like maybe jalapenos or other species like Capsicum annuum or Capsicum baccatum or Capsicum frutescens. You know, you might be getting lost in all these names, but these are Capsicum chinense, not Chinese, Capsicum chinense. So you're going to get a number of pods that are going to have these tails on them and look really cool. And you're also going to get peppers that don't have that at all. Like these two there, like this one there. That's just the nature of the thing. So, of course, seed sellers and plant sellers, when they put their pictures online, they're not going to show you the variations. They're going to take the best, meanest looking pepper and say, here it is. And then you're going to expect to get every pepper on the plant looking like that. You won't get every pepper on the plant looking like that. You won't. You'll have variations. You will have variations. Now, some plants will have a higher percentage of scorpion-looking pods, and some won't. That's the way it is. Same thing with Scotch bonnets. Some peppers will have kind of the bonnet shape, and some won't. Now, the Trinidad Scorpion originally is from Trinidad. That's a country called Trinidad and Tobago. They're two separate islands, but they're large islands. They're not little islands, and they're just off the coast of Venezuela. So I don't know if they're 50 miles or 100 miles, but they're just north of Venezuela in South America. And they have a rich culture of chilies. Not just hot chilies, but sweet chilies and mild chilies too. They love cooking with chilies. Their markets are filled with chilies. The Trinidad Scorpion is from there. Now, how did the Trinidad Scorpion come about? Well, it's kind of funny that some Scotch bonnets will get a little bit of a tail on them sometimes, or a little bit of a nipple at the end. And scorpions will have kind of like that bonnet cap shape, like a Scotch bonnet. So my guess, and this is just a guess, is that years ago, maybe 100 years ago, 500 years ago, this Trinidad 7-pot, which is its own chili, crossed with the Scotch bonnet. And here we have the Trinidad Scorpion. That's just my theory, because like I said, some bonnets get a scorpion look, and scorpions, when you have that true scorpion shape, or the desired scorpion shape, look like a bonnet. That's my guess, folks. I can't go back hundreds of years to when it happened, so you're just going to have to take my word for it. This is the Trinidad Scorpion Butch T, or just Trinidad Scorpion. There are variants of yellow and brown and other ones. They're not as popular as the main red one. This is old school. We're going back to the early 2000s and perhaps even late 1990s to when people first started growing this in the United States or getting access to this and other varieties like the 7-pot. So this is old school. I know you can go out and you can grow all these weird super hot crosses that people have. You can do that. Or you can get your face burned off by a Butch T Scorpion or a Moruga Scorpion or a 7-pot Douglas. Because you know what? There's nothing hotter than them out there on the average. And that includes the Reaper too. They're all hot. There's Scorpions that'll beat Reapers on any given day. Reapers will beat Scorpions on any given day. You know? So if you just want to grow a classic, and if you ever see Butch Taylor online, thank him. Thank Butch Taylor for selecting the best of this variety and getting this variety exposed to the world. Thank Butch Taylor for this. You know what? And the country of Trinidad, because it's from there. But thank Butch Taylor for putting in the effort to do that year after year and then sharing with people unselfishly. Thank you, Butch Taylor. Take care. This is Jim Duffy, Refining Fire Chiles. And this is the Trinidad Butch T Scorpion.